Everyone thinks they know Fiji: crystal waters, soft sands, cocktails under coconut trees. But did you know this peaceful-looking place has survived 4 coups, houses over 300 islands, and was once known as the Cannibal Isles? This isn't just another fantasy travel video. We're showing you hard-hitting, fascinating facts that are 100% real. No sugarcoating, no fairy tales, just the raw, weird, and wonderful truth. Buckle up, because this island has secrets you'd never expect. Please note that I don't have access to unlimited video footage or original images from Fiji, so some visuals are used for illustrative purposes only. I've done my best to present accurate and engaging content despite these limitations. Thank you for your understanding, and I hope you enjoy the video. Fact 1. The Dateline Detour. Fiji is one of the first places to enter tomorrow. Fiji holds a unique position in the world, not just geographically, but temporally. Thanks to a deliberate detour in the international dateline, this island nation is one of the very first inhabited places on Earth to experience a new day. Normally, the dateline follows the 180th meridian straight down the Pacific Ocean, slicing the world into 2 calendar days. But to avoid splitting Fiji in 2 different time zones, the line bends eastward, neatly hugging the edge of the country. This quirky twist of international mapping means that while some countries in the Pacific are still stuck in yesterday, Fiji is already living in tomorrow. The government capitalized on this positioning by becoming the first country to celebrate the new millennium, hosting lavish events as clocks struck midnight in the year 2000. For travelers chasing the sunrise or digital nomads who want to brag they're ahead of the world, Fiji offers a literal head start. It's not just a scenic paradise, it's a time traveler's dream, bending the rules of geography to suit its own rhythm. And let's be honest, any place that manages to manipulate time itself deserves a spot on your bucket list. Fact 2. Over 330 islands, but most are barely touched. Fiji isn't just one island. It's an entire universe scattered across the South Pacific. The country is made up of more than 330 islands, though only about 110 of them are permanently inhabited. That means 2/3 of the nation's islands are completely uninhabited, untouched by modern development, unscarred by concrete, and undisturbed by tourism. The 2 giants of the archipelago are Viti Levu, home to the capital Suva and the international airport, and Vanua Levu, which remains more rural and deeply traditional. The rest? Think secret atolls, jungle-covered escapes, and coral islets so small they disappear at high tide. Some of these islands are privately owned by resorts or celebrities, while others are left entirely to birds, crabs, and whispering palms. Navigating between them is still done in many cases by traditional wooden boats, or by domestic flights that land on airstrips carved into clearings. This geographic layout means that a single trip to Fiji might only scratch the surface. Exploring all of them would take years, and a good deal of sunscreen. For those chasing isolation, discovery, or a real-life castaway fantasy, Fiji offers hundreds of blank pages waiting to be written on. Fact 3. The Grisly Past, Fiji's History of Cannibalism. Beneath Fiji's postcard, beauty lies a history far more primal than the average tourist brochure reveals. For centuries, Fiji was feared across the Pacific as the Cannibal Isles, and not without reason. Ritual cannibalism was a deeply ingrained part of pre-colonial Fijian society, especially among warrior tribes. Consuming the flesh of defeated enemies was believed to transfer their power to the victor, and it often played a ceremonial role in tribal warfare, religion, and justice. One infamous figure, Ratu Udre, a Fijian chief from the 19th century, reportedly consumed the bodies of over 800 victims during his lifetime, stacking their bones in neat rows as trophies. While that number might be inflated by oral legend, it illustrates just how central cannibalism was to traditional culture. The practice persisted until well after Western contact, and was only suppressed with the arrival of Christian missionaries and British colonizers in the late 1800s. Today, museums in Fiji still display cannibal forks, carved wooden utensils used for eating human flesh without touching it, out of respect for the meal. It's a chilling but crucial part of Fiji's past, one that gives the nation a historical depth that's often lost amid the turquoise lagoons and white sand beaches. Fact 4. Rugby isn't just a sport in Fiji, it's a way of life. If you think rugby is just another game in Fiji, think again. It's closer to a sacred ritual than a weekend hobby. Especially when it comes to rugby sevens, the fast-paced, high-energy version of the sport, Fijians don't just participate, they dominate. In the 2016 and 2020 Olympic Games, Fiji's national sevens team didn't just win gold medals. They crushed global powerhouses like New Zealand and South Africa with effortless flair. Their playstyle is unlike any other: agile, unpredictable, and impossibly creative. But here's what truly makes it special. This sporting excellence comes from barefoot village kids passing coconuts instead of balls, using grassy hills instead of stadiums. Rugby is deeply embedded in the soul of the nation. In rural villages, matches are played on makeshift fields with goalposts made of driftwood. When Fiji won its first Olympic gold, the country declared a national holiday. People wept, businesses closed, church bells rang. It wasn't just about the win, it was about global recognition of something every Fijian already knew. They were born to play this game. If you want to understand Fiji's heart, forget the resorts. Watch a rugby sevens match in a muddy village field. That's where the real magic lives. Fact 5. The soft coral capital of the world. While most travelers associate coral reefs with Australia's Great Barrier Reef, true connoisseurs of the deep know that Fiji is the soft coral capital of the world. Beneath its warm turquoise waters lies a kaleidoscope of marine life so vivid it almost defies reality. Unlike hard corals, soft corals sway with the current like underwater forests, blooming in neon shades of pink, violet, orange, and electric blue. Places like the Rainbow Reef and the Great White Wall are legendary dive spots, attracting scuba divers from every corner of the globe. And these aren't just colorful curiosities. Fiji's waters host more than 1,200 species of fish, along with sharks, manta rays, sea turtles, and critters that look like they were imagined by Pixar. What makes the soft corals flourish here is a combination of strong, nutrient-rich currents and Fiji's commitment to marine conservation. Many reefs lie within protected marine parks, and local villages often enforce traditional taboo zones, areas where fishing is forbidden to let nature regenerate. For divers, snorkelers, or even just glass-bottom boat riders, Fiji offers one of the most dazzling underwater experiences on Earth. It's like stepping into a dream, except it's real, and it's alive with every color of the rainbow. Fact 6. Paradise Interrupted, Fiji's turbulent history of coups. Beneath Fiji's postcard-perfect image of palm trees and peace lies a surprisingly unstable political past. Since gaining independence from the United Kingdom in the year 1970, Fiji has experienced 4 military coups, making it one of the most politically volatile nations in the Pacific. The unrest stems largely from deep-rooted tensions between Itauke, indigenous Fijians, and Indo-Fijians, the descendants of Indian laborers brought during British colonial rule. Disputes over land rights, political representation, and cultural dominance have repeatedly brought the nation to a boiling point. In one infamous episode, a democratically elected Indo-Fijian prime minister was overthrown by armed rebels in the year 2000, leading to weeks of chaos and international condemnation. Another coup in 2006 brought in military rule under Frank Bainimarama, who suspended the constitution and ruled by decree for years. Despite eventually holding elections and restoring democracy, the scars of Fiji's political past remain visible. Yet paradoxically, everyday life for most locals remains peaceful. Tourists are rarely affected, and political unrest tends to unfold quietly behind government walls rather than on the streets. Still, Fiji's complex political fabric adds depth and contrast to its otherwise serene exterior. It's a paradise with real-world grit. Fact 7. Kava, the drink that calms the body and numbs the tongue. In Fiji, social bonding doesn't happen over a pint of beer. It happens around a large, earthy bowl of kava. This traditional, mildly sedative drink is made from the powdered root of the Piper methysticum plant, mixed with cold water and served in coconut shells. It looks like muddy dishwater and tastes, well, earthy. But the experience? Unforgettable. After a few sips, your lips and tongue begin to tingle and go slightly numb. followed by a wave of calmness that rolls through your body like a Pacific breeze. Kava isn't just a beverage, it's the beating heart of Fijian hospitality. Whether you're a guest in a rural village or attending a political meeting, the kava ceremony sets the tone. There are chants, claps, and a sacred order of who drinks first, usually the village chief. Refusing a bowl isn't just rude, it's culturally disrespectful. The drink has no alcohol, yet it can deeply relax the muscles and mind, leading to long evenings of quiet storytelling, laughter, and respect. In fact, some call it Fijian diplomacy in a cup. So if you're ever offered a shell of kava, don't hesitate. Drink deep, clap once, and let the island spirit soak in. Fact 8. Nearly half of Fijians are of Indian descent. When you imagine Fiji, you might picture grass-skirted warriors and coconut groves. But almost half the population is of Indian heritage, and that changes everything. During British colonial rule in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, thousands of Indian laborers were brought to Fiji under an indentured servitude system to work on sugarcane plantations. Many of them stayed after their contracts ended, eventually building communities, temples, businesses, and families that became an inseparable part of Fijian society. Today, Indo-Fijians make up around 45% of the population. You'll hear Hindi in the markets, smell fragrant curries from roadside stalls, and witness Diwali festivals lighting up entire towns. Politically and economically, Indo-Fijians have played major roles, though not without tension. Ethnic division has been at the core of Fiji's coups and constitutional debates. Yet the cultural fusion has also created a unique identity found nowhere else in the Pacific. Here, it's totally normal to eat roti with cassava, wear a sari to a rugby match, or find a Christian church next to a Hindu temple. Fiji isn't just multicultural, it's a living blend of two worlds, woven together by history, resilience, and spicy food. Fact 9, a snake-free paradise, almost. If the thought of snakes slithering in the grass gives you chills, then Fiji might just be your dream destination. Unlike many of its tropical neighbors, Fiji is remarkably free of land snakes. You can wander through jungles, trek across islands, and lounge on beaches without the constant side-eye scan for something venomous lurking nearby. The only serpent you're likely to encounter is the banded sea crate, a striking black and white marine snake that lives mostly in the ocean and coral reefs. Yes, it's venomous, but relax, it's famously docile and incredibly shy. In fact, it prefers to avoid humans altogether and rarely bites unless severely provoked. Most locals and divers consider it more of a novelty than a threat. This near absence of snakes is largely due to Fiji's geographic isolation and lack of natural snake migration routes. Compared to places like Australia or Papua New Guinea, which are crawling with venomous creatures, Fiji is practically a reptilian safe zone. That means you can hike, swim, snorkel, and explore with a bit more peace of mind. So while you may see sharks in the water or iguanas in the trees, when it comes to snakes, Fiji keeps the danger out of paradise. Fact 10. Fiji is slowly sinking beneath the waves. Beneath the surface of its idyllic image, Fiji is facing one of the 21st century's gravest threats: sea level rise. As climate change accelerates, Fiji has found itself on the front lines, not metaphorically, but literally. With over 300 islands scattered across the South Pacific, many of which are low-lying and coastal, even a modest rise in ocean levels spells danger. Villages like Vunadogoloa have already been completely relocated inland, as saltwater swallows agricultural land and floods freshwater wells. It's not a hypothetical future, it's a present-day reality. The government of Fiji has taken an active role on the international stage, championing climate action in global forums and urging wealthy nations to reduce carbon emissions. Former Prime Minister Frank Bainimarama has been a vocal critic of global inaction, saying that small island nations should not have to pay the price for the pollution of others. In response, Fiji has begun drafting long-term plans to relocate over 40 communities that are at risk. Ironically, the very ocean that provides Fiji with tourism, food, and beauty is also threatening its existence. It's paradise under pressure, a reminder that even the most beautiful places on Earth are not immune to the consequences of human activity. Fact 11. An island you can walk around in 10 minutes. Imagine stepping onto a tropical island so small, so untouched. You can walk around the entire perimeter in just 10 minutes. Welcome to Monuriki Island, one of Fiji's hidden gems. This little speck of paradise shot to fame as the filming location of the movie Cast Away, where Tom Hanks screamed at a volleyball and struggled to survive. But long before Hollywood set foot here, Monuriki was already a wonder. An uninhabited volcanic islet surrounded by turquoise waters, coral reefs, and white sands so fine they squeak beneath your feet. It's part of the Mamanuca Islands, a group of postcard-perfect spots northwest of Viti Levu. Monuriki isn't just a movie set. It's also an important conservation site, home to endangered species like the Fijian crested iguana, which was once thought to be extinct. There are no roads, no shops, no crowds, just open sky, rustling palms, and the sound of waves wrapping around you like a lullaby. Most visitors come by boat from nearby resorts, spend a few hours snorkeling, hiking, or pretending they're movie survivors, then leave the island untouched. It's proof that some of Fiji's most extraordinary places fit into the palm of your hand. Fact 12. Traditional Fijian homes are built without a single nail. In the heart of rural Fiji, you'll still find buures, traditional Fijian houses that stand not only as homes, but as testaments to architectural genius passed down through generations. What makes them truly remarkable? They are constructed entirely without nails or metal fastenings. Instead, builders use hand-cut timber, woven bamboo walls, and lash everything together with majamajai, a type of strong coconut fiber rope. It's not just old-school craftsmanship, it's storm-tested resilience. These buures are engineered to flex with the wind rather than resist it, making them exceptionally durable during cyclones, which are common in the South Pacific. The steep thatched roofs allow rain to run off easily, while elevated floors protect from floods and insects. No blueprints, no power tools. Just centuries of indigenous knowledge, muscle memory, and deep respect for the land. Even today, in a world of concrete blocks and glass towers, buures are still constructed for special occasions, cultural centers, and in villages that honor tradition. They're not just beautiful structures, they're symbols of harmony between people and nature, proving that sustainable, storm-proof housing doesn't require a hardware store, just wisdom and rope. Fact 13. Chiefs still hold power beyond politics. While Fiji is officially a parliamentary democracy, traditional chiefs still hold immense influence, especially in rural life. These leaders, known as Turaga ni Koro at the village level and paramount chiefs in higher ranks, don't hold elected office, but their words often carry more weight than a politician's handshake. For centuries, Fijian society has been structured around a complex system of chiefly hierarchies, where titles are passed down through family lineage. Even though the Great Council of Chiefs, the official body representing them, was disbanded in 2012, their cultural and symbolic power remains deeply entrenched. In many areas, villagers will consult their chief before speaking with government officials or accepting development projects. Chiefs bless land, preside over kava ceremonies, resolve disputes, and guide moral behavior. Their role is spiritual, social, and sometimes even environmental. They can declare taboo areas off limits to fishing or hunting, safeguarding ecosystems. In the modern age, some chiefs have stepped into formal politics or become diplomats, bridging tradition and statecraft. While they may not sign laws, they can shape the soul of the nation. In Fiji, power doesn't always wear a suit. It might wear a garland of flowers and speak in a calm, respected voice. Fact 14. Fijian banknotes feature canoes and rugby players. Most countries plaster their banknotes with presidents, monarchs, and founding fathers. But in Fiji, the currency tells a far more colorful and culturally rich story. Take the $5 note, for example. It once proudly displayed a Rugby Sevens player honoring the national team's Olympic gold medal victory. It marked the first time in the world a national sports team, not an individual, was immortalized on legal tender. And that's not all. Fijian banknotes also feature traditional outrigger canoes, known as drua, symbols of the nation's maritime mastery and ancient navigational skill. These aren't decorative choices. Their deliberate statements about identity, pride, and heritage. Even the wildlife gets a nod. Various bills depict native species like the collared lory, the Fijian banded iguana, and the peregrine falcon, instead of political icons. When the country removed Queen Elizabeth II's image from its currency in the early 2010s, it didn't replace her with a politician. It celebrated its people, nature, and traditions instead. Holding Fijian money feels like flipping through a national scrapbook, where every denomination tells a story. It's cash you almost don't want to spend, because every note is a pocket-sized tribute to the spirit of the islands. Fact 15. The world drinks Fiji water, but many Fijians don't. Fiji water is a global symbol of luxury. Found in five-star hotels, celebrity dressing rooms, and the hands of influencers from Beverly Hills to Tokyo. Marketed as pristine and untouched, it's bottled straight from an artesian aquifer deep beneath the Yakara Valley on Fiji's main island, Viti Levu. The brand claims the water is naturally filtered through volcanic rock for hundreds of years before ever reaching the bottle, giving it that signature untouched by man label. But here's the twist. Many rural Fijians don't have access to clean drinking water themselves. While millions of bottles are exported worldwide each year, some nearby villages still rely on rainwater, contaminated wells, or rivers for their daily needs. The contrast is staggering. Fiji's most famous export is water, yet thousands of its citizens struggle with basic water infrastructure. Critics have called it a bottled irony, while others argue the brand has at least brought international attention to the islands. To their credit, Fiji Water has funded development projects in local communities, but the gap remains visible. So the next time you sip from that sleek square bottle, remember, it might be premium hydration to you, but back in Fiji, it's a reminder that paradise still has problems to solve. Living in Fiji may sound like a dream, but for many expats and remote workers, it's surprisingly attainable and affordable, especially when compared to major Western economies. The cost of living in Fiji varies dramatically between the two main islands, urban centers like Suva or Nadi, and more rural villages. A modest but comfortable lifestyle in a city can cost around $1,200 to $1,500 per month, including rent, utilities, transportation, and groceries. In more remote areas, this can drop below $800, though access to amenities may be limited. Rent is perhaps the biggest variable. A modern one-bedroom apartment in Suva might cost $500 to $700 monthly, while rural homes or shared flats go for $250 to $400. Utilities are moderate. Expect to pay around $80 for electricity and $15 to $20 for high-speed internet. Local markets are very affordable. Tropical fruits, vegetables, and fresh fish are cheap, especially if you buy directly from farmers or fishermen. Imported goods, however, are expensive. Fiji has high tariffs, so luxury items and electronics often cost 20 to 40% more than in the US or Australia. Employment for foreigners is limited, as work permits require justification that no local can fill the position. Most legal job opportunities are in tourism, hospitality, education, or NGO work. Remote workers and digital nomads find more freedom, especially with Fiji's improving internet infrastructure and generous 4-month tourist visas, which can often be extended. For longer stays, residency options exist through investment, marriage, or retirement status. Healthcare is basic but functional in urban centers, while private clinics are advisable for more serious concerns. All in all, Fiji offers a balanced mix of affordability and beauty, with enough modern infrastructure for remote professionals. Just be prepared to adjust to a slower pace and island time. If you enjoyed exploring the mind-blowing facts about Fiji, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to Andy Explores the World for more fascinating discoveries from the most unexpected corners of the planet. Got a favorite fact or a country you'd like us to explore next? Drop it in the comments. We read every single one. And as always, thanks for watching and see you in the next adventure.